Everybody ready? Okay. Jonathan, are you ready? Okay, let's call to order the Historic Landmarks Advisory Commission meeting for August 11th, 2025. We'll first start with a roll call, and it's due from my left.
Rob Knight, 4th District.
Richard Saloga, 2nd District.
Keith Kaufman Gray, Chair, 1st District.
Ronald Nye at large.
Sheila Snow, 1st District.
John Villarino, 4th District.
Okay, we have a quorum. Okay, do we have anyone that wants public comment that is not on today's agenda?
Mr. Chair, we don't have anybody in the audience or the attendees call currently, so we have no public comment.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's move on to item number 3. This is officers and committees. According to Section 3 of the Commissioners of Bylaws, the Commission shall elect a chair and vice chair in the month of July, who are appointed for 2-year terms. The chair and vice chair shall not hold office for more than 2 consecutive 2-year terms. Elections may be called in case of a resignation. Simple majority of the votes will determine the election outcome. So as chair, this is my 2nd 2-year term, so I am not eligible to be a chair again. So let's open it up for nominations for chair coming up, the 2-year term.
I nominate Ron Nye.
Okay, we have a nomination for Ron Nye.
I'll second that. Is that appropriate?
I guess we need a second. Yeah, we have a second. Okay. Any other nominations for chair? Ron?
I'm reluctant to accept that nomination. So if anybody feels the urge to come forward and give it a try, it's not that hard. And we're all very supportive with one another. I have been chair 2 terms, and part of a prior term when that person stepped away. I thank you for supporting me otherwise.
Thank you. Let's move this on quickly before he changes his mind. Any other nominations? I close nominations. All in favor for Commissioner Nye as the next chair?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, it's unanimous. So now we need to elect a vice chair for the next 2 years. Any nominations for vice chair?
I nominate Keith Kaufman Gray.
I'll say. You got it?
We have a second. Okay. Well, I will accept being vice chair if you want me to be. Any other nominations? Okay. Okay, vote. All in favor for Keith Kaufman Gray to be vice chair, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Well, we have our chair and vice chair for the next 2 years. Okay, thank you. So Ron, take over the meeting now.
Brother. Well, I want to acknowledge Chairman Kaufman Gray's really amazing job for the last couple of years. And even before that, he was vice chair, I believe. And, you know, you can just enumerate all of the things, all of his accomplishments. Several landmarks were accomplished, including Rocky Nook Park, the big bridge in Santa Ynez, and I'm leaving out a few. Cold Spring Bridge, and the Arroyo Hondo Bridge, and the church in Montecito, something by the sea, All Saints by the Sea, and then numerous other activities that he pursued behind the scenes on our behalf. And thanks to Keith, our commission is very much in the eye of the public and the Board of Supervisors, which is really important. So I just want to acknowledge his hard work, and I'm happy that he's going to back me up on this job.
Thank you for those kind words. I appreciate it.
Next item, minutes from June 9th, 2025. Are there any additions or corrections from our group?
I have a comment.
Yes, Ms. Ryerson.
I believe Commissioner Villarino's from the 4th district. Is that correct? Instead of the 3rd.
Yeah, that has been I think it's on the original master, and so it doesn't get changed all the time.
Yeah, just a small correction. Was it on page 3, comments from me? Just more specifically where it says a college student, I use a college student as an example, but just an intern specifically. And I don't know if I specifically mentioned the county of Santa Barbara is facing a deficit in the coming years, but that could be, I don't know, I don't, just in general that, I don't specifically said that, but it's fine.
Anyone else have any corrections or revisions?
I move to accept the minutes with the proposed corrections.
Second. Mr. Soldaga. All those in favor of the minutes as corrected?
Aye.
Against? None. Thank you. Let's see. Staff update, item number 5 on our agenda. Well, I don't know if we have any staff. We certainly we have our dogged attorney, but she's not really staff. She's one of us, basically. So nobody
Nothing to report.
perched online to chime in and
Oh, you want to do this? We can do the video for the staff update. We had the presentation from the Board of Supervisors, actually. The videos that we had posted for the history of Santa Barbara.
Welcome to Santa Barbara County, a place with immense natural beauty and rich history. Founded in 1850 as one of California's original counties. Join us as we acknowledge the 175th anniversary of the County of Santa Barbara. Across the County of Santa Barbara, historic landmarks tell the story of our region's past, from century-old buildings and iconic structures to sites of cultural, architectural, and historical importance. These places are officially recognized by the county's Historic Landmarks Advisory Commission, which works to preserve and protect sites with special historic or aesthetic value, not just for preservation's sake, but to enrich public understanding, community identity, and cultural tourism across the region. In this video, we'll take you on a journey to explore just a few of the more than 50 county-designated historic landmarks, stopping in every corner of the county. Along the way, we'll highlight both the very first sites ever recognized and the most recent additions to this treasured list.
The Historic Landmarks Commission was created by the Board of Supervisors in 1965. The Board of Supervisors decided that, we need to start preserving these landmarks for future generations. The reason for the landmark is if something major is planned in the future, it has to come before the County Historic Landmarks Advisory Commission to approve the plans if any changes. So Historic Landmarks helps preserve that for the county resources in the future. The Siscock Church was the very first county historic landmark dedicated in 1966. It's a classic church of that era, built in 1875. It was for the ranching community in that area. The cemetery next to it has a lot of historic people from North County. Frederick Wickenden and also Benjamin Foxen are buried at that local cemetery. The setting makes it very special for the county. Lompoc has one of our first historic landmarks. It's Artesia Schoolhouse, and it was Lompoc Valley's first one-room country schoolhouse, and it was built in 1876. One that just came up recently was the Cold Springs Canyon Bridge, and that one is interesting because it's not owned by the county, it's not owned by the public, it's owned by the state of California. And what makes it unique is the way it's constructed, the way the steel arch bridge is. And Caltrans was very helpful in getting the approval for us to make that a county landmark. I'm very happy to have Rocky Nook Park as a new county historic landmark. A lot of it is just because of its positioning. It is right in the heart of Santa Barbara. It's a way for residents to get out into nature and enjoy nature. Rocky Nook Park is amazing because it has a geological history. The rocks you see in the park are done by ancient mudflows. The public knows recently what happened in Montecito a few years ago, and this is an ancient mudflow right here in the park that happened many years ago. We've just recently installed a plaque at the entrance to the park. It's very simple. It just shows it's a designated county historic landmark. Landmarks are so important for future generations. After we're long gone, there will be new generations of people in Santa Barbara that can enjoy these. And if they destroy landmarks, we will not have that history to preserve for future generations.
To find out more information on designated landmarks in the unincorporated county, visit the Historic Landmarks section of the County of Santa Barbara website.
Good job, Keith.
Yeah, they approached me in the spring. As they mentioned, this is part of the 175th anniversary of the county. So they budgeted money to do different aspects of the history of Santa Barbara. And so they approached me to do this. And, it's amazing how well they did. There's drones in there. I mean, they really put a lot of work in this. And, they are amazing editing that they did. I mean, it is amazing what editing they did to make it look so good. So they showed this at the Board of Supervisors meeting. It was a month ago, I guess, So I got some emails. I thought I'd quickly read them to you to have it in the public record. One was from Jeff Giordano, and he was at the county the Santa Barbara Board of Supervisors meeting where they showed this video. And he just said, Keith, I'm a longtime county resident, and I just wanted you to know that your recent video presentation made on behalf of the county was wonderful. Thank you for everything you and the commission does for our community. And there was other things that I heard. Let's see here. Caltrans, Krista Kia said, thank you so much, Keith. Excellent video. I'm glad to hear it will be placed on the Santa Barbara County Historic Landmarks website. Thank you for sharing it with us. Fran Galt, thank you, Keith. It's beautiful. Fran. And then Paulina Khan said, I just watched delightful videos about the history of Santa Barbara County and the historic landmarks of the county. I did not know about the little church in Sisquoc and the cemetery there. You have lots of very nice photos, as if I did it. We are, of course, delighted with the Rocky Nook Park inclusion. The videos are very nicely put together and narrated. It makes us want more. Our local history is really rich. We are lucky to have not only buildings and places preserved, but old photos too. Little videos will make nice presentations for lots of groups and maybe classrooms too. Maybe people will want to learn more. 175 years is a worthy milestone, not ancient compared to the old world, but we have made amazing changes in this time that's both short and long, depending on perspective. Thank you, Keith, and the Historic Landmarks Advisory Commission for putting this. So anyway, that's what I just wanted to say, that a lot of people have been seeing it. And like you mentioned, we're hoping to get this on the website as soon as possible so that when someone is interested in having a landmark, you can refer them to that video and they can learn a little bit more about the story.
Thank you, Keith. Any additional comments under staff update? Commissioner Knight?
Is that available anywhere currently? It's not on our website yet?
It's not, I don't think it is. I mean, the link was sent to all of you, and I just recommend everybody just send it to your friends, get it out there. And I'm not real computerized, but if there's some way we could save it, in your computer, and then you could show it, but I've been trying to do that, and I've been having a hard time, but I think it'd be nice. But eventually it will be on the website so that we can just refer people to the website and they can look at it.
Mr. Chair, these videos on here are actually downloadable, so you can go ahead and download these from the box files and share them that way.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Number 6 on the agenda, chair/project discussion. Commissioner Kaufman-Gray, you mentioned, or I'm not sure if you had something on that item number 6.
I have a couple of subcommittee updates.
Okay, you have the floor. Yeah.
Okay, I want to go over the plaque subcommittee, which consists of Sheila, Ron, and myself. And as you know, in June, we went ahead to go further with the 3 new plaques to be made. And so I contacted by email Caltrans District 5, and I also All Saints by the Episcopal Church about the plaques being ordered, and that HLAC wants to work with them about where we're going to place the plaque. So far, I haven't heard from either one a response from that. But we just found out that the plaques are going to arrive this Wednesday, and they're going to be delivered to Jonathan at his office. So the ad hoc subcommittee on plaques will meet with the owners, work with them on possible placements. So like All Saints, it was a general email that I did. So we'll do a follow-up, the subcommittee, and then maybe do a site visit and see where they would like to put the plaque. And then as we did in the past, we'll bring it back to the full HLAC for approval of where the plaque will be placed on the property. Caltrans, there's 2 areas for both of them. The Cold Springs Bridge. If you remember, below the bridge on Stagecoach Road, there is already a cement monument that has a plaque there. And so I asked them who do we contact with for this engineering group that did that years ago? We could maybe put the plaque there. Again, I'm working with Caltrans, and we're working with Caltrans to see if they can get permission to put it there. That seems an obvious place to put it. And then the other one for the Arroyo Hondo Bridge, that might be a little tricky. I mean, I was thinking when I walked down there, there's the abutment to the bridge. It'd be nice there. But that concrete is so old, I'm wondering if maybe that might not be the best place. Disintegrate. So that's something, again, to work with Caltrans. They own both bridges. And hopefully they can come up with something. And then hopefully they have a crew that can install. I would think with the road crew, they should have somebody that can install those plaques instead of us trying to do. So that's the ad hoc subcommittee. Okay, now the other subcommittee is the ad hoc subcommittee on potential landmarks and places of merit. This is Commissioner Knight, Commissioner Nye, myself on this subcommittee. And I want to just give you an update on the Old Coast Highway. As you know, we went ahead and moved forward at the last June meeting, and Amber Long got a hold of me beginning of July, or a couple of weeks into July, that she was having difficulty collating all the information because we gave her so much information. She was afraid that she might go over our budget that we gave her for it without helping her consolidate her. So I told her to go ahead and stop her work. And then I talked to Commissioner Nye. He went over it too, and he also can explain more, realized that there was a lot there. He kind of knows how to narrow it down. So he's going to work with her, with Amber Long, to give pointers where to go for this research to make it easier so that she can get it done. And in the meantime, we had a question from the roads department, county roads, about questions about landmarks. And Ron talked to them, and looks like they're fine now. So there's a delay on, I was hoping that the nomination would have been completed by now, but we don't want to spend extra money if necessary. So, and Ron really saw some areas that easy to make. I guess she's busy this week. He's doing a lot. So after this following week, Ron will have a meeting with her. So it hasn't stopped. It's just got delayed. And let's see. Okay, I want to talk about also the subcommittee. As in the past, I've mentioned that the subcommittee has a list of potential landmarks or places of merit. And we've been reluctant to mention it in public meeting because these properties have not been contacted yet. And we didn't want any people to be upset that, why are you talking about my property in a public setting? So we've been very quiet. I know a lot of you want to know what properties are we looking at. And, it's kind of we made the decision not to do it until we contact the property owner. So recently, one of the properties that we're really looking into is Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church in Montecito. As you know, that's the very Pueblo-looking church that's been there for many, many years. And so on July 15th, I called Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church. I had some connections through the church, and it was just by a matter of luck that the head pastor father was able to talk to me on the phone at that time. His name is Father Lawrence Sayer. He's head pastor. He's known as Father Lawrence. We talked about the possibility of it being a Santa Barbara County historic landmark. I mentioned to him that, in the Catholic Church locally, the Mission Santa Barbara is not just a county, but it's a national landmark. And so they should know how, by the experience of having a national landmark, they kind of know what it entails being a landmark. We have a lot of information on Mount Carmel Church because they had some work done in the early 2000s in the windows up high. Celestial, or what do you call it? Clear story. I don't know why I have a hard time with it. Anyway, they had wanted to replace the wood around it, and it triggered a historic report. And so there's a historic report done on this property now. Nicole, our planner, Nicole Liu, gave me that information. So, the question that immediately he came out is ask what would it benefit the church? And as you know, there's not, that's a question we've been having a lot. There's not a lot of benefits for historic landmarks as far as for the property owner. And I just mentioned it's more of a prestige that you'd have a county landmark. If you do any work on the church now, you still have to go through, would probably have to still go through us because it is a potential landmark. So it would be flagged to come to us. So the idea is it wouldn't really cause any more paperwork for the church to do as what they've had to do. And I said, you get a nice plaque. So the church is, it's like Caltrans. I mean, there's a lot of hoops to go. First, he has to get the parish to be in favor of it. And then, of course, then it's the church up here, Catholic Church is part of the Los Angeles Diocese, which means they'd have to also get approval from the Los Angeles Diocese. So it's an initial communication that I've had with them. He seemed very positive. He was liked the idea. It just needs to look into, permission and stuff. So anyway, we did make contact with one, and so it's kind of started, information on. So that's that. And then the other thing for the subcommittee was Ontiveros Adobe. There really is no update yet on that. This is one that we definitely would like to go forward. We've had talked to the owner. We need to talk at the moment. So, and one last thing under project discussion, and it's not really a subcommittee, but it has to do about what we were talking about, bringing historic landmarks for final approval to the Board of Supervisors. As you mentioned, I've been keeping you updated on this conversation, and the Board of Supervisors, I think it was, they directed planning development to look into the possibility of changing Chapter 18A, that historic landmarks, if they're approved by historic landmarks, do not have to go to them for final approval, which would save a lot of paperwork, save a lot of money. So I've been kind of following up on that because we have a new budget as affect we plan to do this year. If we don't have to go to Board of Supervisors, that's like almost $6,000 that we out of our budget, as they do charge. We approve a landmark, they charge us for the time you get it before the Board of Supervisors final comes out of our. So I did an email on June 28th, follow up, because I was kind of waiting to find out from them to come back with me. I had nothing, so I had an email to Planning Development, which was to Lisa Plowman and Travis Seawards, who we've been working with in the past, and I hadn't heard any response. So on July 24th, I sent an email to Supervisor Hartman. She's the one that I've been working with to try to get change going. And on July 28th, I hadn't that was on July 24th. I sent the email to Supervisor Hartman. On July 28th, I received an email from Gina Fisher, who's the Chief of Staff for Joan Hartman. And she said, Lisa Plowman reported back to Joan Hartman. And this is what she told Joan Hartman. This is from Lisa Plowman, who's head of planning development. This is an effort that would be handled by long-range planning, and we are trying to figure out when we can bring it back for board direction regarding options. I'll talk to the team and circle back. So right there, it tells you it's going to be a long process. And so we're going to just have to, this is my personal opinion, that whatever our budget is, if we do a historic landmark designation, we'll have to realize that we'll probably have to budget money to pay for it to go unless things change. Obviously, this is, everything takes time. I mean, because Chapter 18A has to be changed. That has to go through county council to do changes in that, I believe. Wouldn't that be a county council thing? So it's, there's a lot of puzzles to this to make a change as big as this. So it just is going to take. I just want to give you an update. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's still in the process of working on it. And I think we do have Board of Supervisors approval to make it so it doesn't have landmarks don't have to go to them. And is my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Hoffman-Gray. Appreciate you tracking all of those issues for us on our behalf. Do we need to, is somebody on the phone waiting to?
We have Howard Wichosh. He actually joined us. He's calling in.
Okay.
Yeah, he was not able to come in person, but he is participating remotely. The only issue is that I didn't find out in time, so we can distribute an agenda with his name where he's remotely participating. So he can listen in, but he won't be able to comment or participate in the hearing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
I wanted to mention too, the video actually is up on your website now, the video that you showed earlier.
Thank you. Well, I just want to say welcome to Mr. Commissioner Wichosh for listening in. And Mr. Malcolm, you have the floor.
So, yeah, I just wanted to comment along the lines of what Keith had to say. Just in general for everybody, that one big benefit to having landmark status is you have a whole panel of some experts. A lot of us know about projects and how to manage them, or the best practices for a certain project that would come to us, that they would have that advice, the expert advice, expert opinions of that to make their project to go more smoothly. If they needed like a restoration project or what have you. That's, I just wanted to get that out.
Thank you. Getting back to Mr. Witosh, does he count as being in person or present? Is he considered a present
He would,
personage?
he
No.
would not be considered
That's
present,
what I thought. Okay,
which is, I believe, basically a member of the public.
thank you.
Thank you.
We are now at number 7, HLAC budget. And we certainly have been provided with an update, apparently.
Yes, P&D staff support at 438.98 for 3% expended for the year, and professional services 195. And I believe that was for the Old Coast Highway application submitted by Amber Long.
Okay, are there any questions or comments? Yes, Mr. Kaufman Gray.
Yeah, question, Jonathan, normally under expenditures, you'll put the date it covers. You just have the date for the full year. It was just for the month of July, so it'd have been 7/1/25 to 7/30/2025.
Yeah, this is to be through the month of July with our new budget.
So that's just, it needs to be a correction there.
Or, oh yeah, I see that now. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Needs to be a 7:30 and 25. Yeah, I'll fix this.
And it,
Go ahead.
in the packet, you see the invoice for Amber Long for the 195. I just want to let everyone know that I did approve an invoice for the month of July. So the 195, July, that was the June. So did the 195 go into this year's instead of last year's? Let's see. Oh, yeah, because okay, it was for June, but it was billed in July. So, okay. So I just received an invoice from Amber Long, which I sent for payment for $325. Do you have that to bring up, or?
It was in our packet.
It was in the packet, the
Yeah.
325? Okay, so that will be added under professional services from the next budget. And that was when she started to work on it, like I mentioned, and then I told her to stop. So she billed us for the time that she did the review, which was 2.5. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I wanted to mention back on project discussion that we appreciate Commissioner Villarino's map of the Old Coast Highway. That's very good. Yeah, appreciate that help. All right, thank you. Now we move on to the we've done district reports, I think, and move on to standard agenda presentation by Ronald Nye. I wanted to just comment briefly on this process that we have here regarding the nomination form, and for the relatively new commissioners, it might be of interest to see exactly what we what we ask for. And we did talk about this recently at a couple of meetings about the preparation and so forth of these documents. And so hopefully you all can either see the screen or see the one that was in your packet. What I asked Jonathan to do was to make a copy of the recent All Saints by the Sea Episcopal Church landmark nomination. And you can see on page 1, there's basic information required. You see the address on number 1, parcel number. On number 2, there's the current name, address, and telephone number. The official name, All Saints by the Sea. And moving down to number 4, this is really the easy part of the form, the historic name and original owner. And that was easy on this particular site. Number 5, the type of resource, building, other structure, site or feature, cultural, landscape, object. I don't know where we would put Old Coast Highway, but we'd fit it in maybe under other site or a feature. I'm not sure. But those are the kind of categories that essentially are kind of the state-of-the-art type of information required in these situations. Number 6 is a date of construction. And here you have a couple sentences here saying it was built in 1900, vicarage portion of it 2 years later, which was added to the church. You can see at the bottom of number 6 that she cites Post Hazeltine's cultural resources study for that property as her source. So the point of this is that there had already been a very detailed, or actually several professional historian studies, and one of the reasons that made this such a gratifying project for us was that information had already been collected and put into this study. So Amber didn't have to do original research, and she could summarize what was in that report. So that made it a perfect project for us to take up. And we kind of look for that wherever possible. If we can find a property that either has, say, in the course of Caltrans, which is renowned for its historical work, the 2 bridges that we have worked on, it came with both historian reports and or significant archival resources from Caltrans files in Sacramento. And they're happy to provide those. They also have come up with some information on the Old Coast Highway, which is what we're trying to sort through now. Number 7 is the architect and the style. Arthur Benton, very prominent California architect. He did many very important properties, including the Mission Inn in Riverside. This one is in craftsman style with Gothic elements. And then we get to number 8, and the next several items, we request that a little bit more detail is required. So we asked preparers to just use continuation sheets. And so if you want to flip back to what's called page 1, it's the continuation sheet for those particular sections. Section 8, asking for physical description of nominated property. And here's where we get into the more challenging aspects of this, of these applications. This was a challenging site because if you've looked at the photos or remember what that church looks like, it's a very sophisticated structure and form with lots of craftsman-like detail. And it calls for a bit of expertise, or lack of a better word, that historians of architectural history and preservation have to show a certain level of capability in. And you can see the description there. Rectangular and configuration, aligned on an east axis with the vestibule at its west end, and mentions a narthex and a baptistry. So right away, you're talking, unless your father or mother was an architect or a building contractor, you didn't necessarily, know these kinds of terms. And I can tell you, when I jumped into this realm, I had a library full of reference books, and I had all of my historian friends who'd been doing this for years, had them on quick call to ask them, what do you call this? What is this thing? And what is that? What is, it's tough. And that is, this section 8 is a perfect example of why people who write these applications need to have some background in this, or are willing to hire someone who is trained in it. So, and again, if this had been, say, a more of a residence or a commercial building, would not have required this much text, to say the least. But there you have it. It was available to her from two of our best historians in town, who put together this description. Section 9, physical alterations to the nominated property and its current historical architectural integrity. Here again, this could be a challenge. You can see the way it starts out, and it's probably obvious, but the reason that it's important to consider the modifications that have been made to a property is that if a property has been modified in an improper way, had a lot of additions or a lot of subtractions, and or has fallen into extreme disrepair, that could affect whether its eligibility for historic designation. So it's incumbent upon us as a commission to understand, to some extent, the sort of background of this property. And you can see it's pretty complex for this church. There have been a lot of change. It's an old building. There have been a lot of changes. And the easiest way to describe it is through elevations. And this was a new term to me a few years ago. And again, that's not something the public necessarily would know. But it becomes very easy once you figure out which way is east and which way is west, and what do you see on that particular side of the building. But that's, again, that's important when you're designating a property to know its history and whether or not it still has the characteristics that would make it eligible for nomination. So it goes on to page 2 with other types of alterations. Some were very recent and were overseen by this commission in 2020 and 21. And number 10, I'll stop here. So we just do this in pieces. Description of current setting. Again, the setting of a structure or a site is important because that contributes or detracts from the historic quality of a building or a site. If the neighborhood has been redeveloped with commercial buildings on all 4 sides, that certainly would be take a little bit away from some buildings. On the other hand, if the neighborhood has retained a high level of integrity as far as style and materials, that can add to the historic quality of the building. This particular property it has several structures on it in addition to the church, and many of which appear to be historic. They weren't included in our landmark, but the owners have talked about including those other buildings as part of the landmark on a subsequent date. And that's always an option for us. So I want to stop it after section 10 and pick it up at the next meeting at section 11. We get a little deeper into this whole process. Are there any questions or comments from our group? Right.
Sorry, Richard, would you mind speaking into your microphone, please?
It's impressive to me that all of this information is available.
Right, and it often isn't, but especially on some of these sites that are, say, old farms, or but being a very important church and it's old and having lots of historical resources to dive into, not to mention building permits, aerial photos, and because of the sort of high-end nature of this building and its clientele, there's quite a bit of literature in old newspapers and journals and whatnot. So it's almost a burden for a historian to tackle a building. It would be like trying to do a report on the Santa Barbara courthouse. There's just oceans of material to sort through. And that's one of the problems that happens sometimes even on this Old Coast Road project. That road goes back to the early 1900s, and Caltrans actually has information dating back on the construction of that road and materials and so on. So you never know what's going to be available. So I think there are no questions or comments. I will continue this at the next meeting. And shall I have Jonathan collect these, so just hand them out again or something like that? So you don't have to reprint them, or what would you like to do?
I can reprint them, or you said collect them. Yeah, I can collect them.
Yeah, well, those of you who can remember to turn them in to Jonathan on your way out, and we could we can redo those. So that leaves us item 10, discussion regarding website update of existing existing places of historic merit. And I know that Commissioner Kaufman Gray has looked into this and has some background info on it. I want to comment on in the larger perspective. When you compare our website, the HLAC websites, to what they have done, say, in the county of Ventura and other counties, ours really sucks. It's really crappy, and it's just really, it's just way below what it should be, especially when you see that our county has the ability to produce fabulous visual and factual productions, as they've just shown us in that video. So how we can get from where we are now to a better product to both advertise what we do and promote what we do here. We're trying on individual ways and piecemeal, such as some of the things we've already done, and also the work that Commissioner Kaufman Gray is going to talk about right now. So we really need to upgrade our website. Commissioner. Yeah.
Oh, I have an idea about that, but I'll wait.
Well, we want to hear it. Well, let's wait for.
Do this and then we can. Okay, well, the reason we have this on the agenda, as you know, in June, our last meeting, we looked at our historic landmarks and we saw that the newer ones didn't have any links to any information. And so since our last meeting, Jonathan worked on that. And Jonathan, do you want to just pull up the historic landmarks page so we can show some links, and then you can click on one or two and show how it changed since the last. So if you look at the newer ones, I forget where it was, but just do, so they all have links. So, okay, so that's the All Saints. Oh, Royal Honda. Okay, so we have the nomination now on the website. And if you keep scrolling after the nomination, it should be the actual resolution that the Board of Supervisors approved after the nomination. So then there's the resolution. So if someone can now click on Royal Hondo, they can see pictures of what the bridge is from our nomination, and then when it was actually certified as a landmark from the Board of Supervisors with the resolution. And so each one now, the ones that did not have links are on there now. There's one that had a lot of pictures, Jonathan. Which one was that?
Not mistaken, that was the Davison House? Or no, I'm sorry. Irene Francis Rich Beach Cabana, which I have been having trouble running down, actually. Oh, this might be it, actually. This is the 109-page one, yeah.
So, as you notice on these nominations, we're trying to get as many photos as possible so that people can actually see what the landmarks look like.
A lot of history.
Yeah, I know one of them had like pages and pages. So. Yeah.
Oh, it might be this one.
Yeah, I think this is one.
That might be overkill.
If we can get it on there, it's better than less information. I mean,
True.
someone really wants to look into it. Okay, so I switch over now to a place of merit page. So I was looking to see how well the place of historic landmarks was, and then I realized, oh, we have places of merit that don't have any links to. So in our packet, it says they should be in order of the Rancho Tahigas Main House, the Tunnel Brown House, the Glen Oak Stable Carriage House, the Berean Baptist Church Sunday School Building, and the William and Lydia Davis House. So all of these, as you can see, do not have links. So the idea today is just for us to approve, to have Jonathan go ahead and do the research and put the nomination, if we can find it. I mean, these are newer ones, so we should be able to find it. And then also, it would be the resolution. Now, the resolution, I believe, for merits is only from us as a landmark, because it doesn't go to the Board of Supervisors for approval. This is a merit. So we should have the resolution that we approved as a board also on there.
Absolutely. I can track those
So
down.
I guess it was just open for discussion on this. There's any,
Yes.
So I have like an idea regarding the website on how to improve it. I don't know if this is like the right time to talk about that. In terms of,
Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
so there's something called web maps that the County of Santa Barbara already has for things like county parks and parcel data, agricultural data. Basically, these are interactive maps that you can see where a location is, and you can click on that location and you can embed things like photos and links to it. So I was thinking that might be beneficial for our website to basically be able to have a map that people can just go look at, see where these landmarks are, historic places of merit.
that's,
This sounds to me like,
the Ventura one. Where,
Oh,
if you
go
look
ahead.
at the Ventura map, it's a map of the county of Ventura, and there's little, it's not numbers, but it's little things, and you click on that, and then it tells.
That's
what the
exactly
info-
what.
Okay, so we have, the county has that already on,
So, yeah, the county, they already use ArcGIS Esri web servers. So basically, I mean, we just have to look more into it, but I'd be willing to work with the county GIS team if that's, possible. But yeah, basically we'd just be able to create a new web layer or a new web map, post that web map. And should be easy, but once again, I don't know all the logistics involved, but it might be something.
that would be great to look into. Based on what I've heard from Jonathan over the years, they have the folks that handle the website for the county have protocols, and you feed them information and tell them what you want, and you pray that they do what you want. It seems very archaic, so you might run into that. That doesn't mean it needs to block what we're doing, but it's just that they have a structure which seems pretty archaic to me, but they're maintaining control over it,
Yeah.
and that's probably good.
They have ultimate control. We have upgraded to a ticketing system, so it's more tracked to where we can see where it is in the process.
We're having a hard time understanding.
There's a new ticketing software that IT has implemented. So we submit tickets for website updates.
Okay,
And there's more editing process in that instead of just
oh,
posting and, hey, does this look correct? So there's a little bit more control that we have now.
okay.
And I believe I know which the correct department to contact for the ArcGIS to see if that's possible to get that on the HVAC website. Definitely.
Would it be possible for you to talk to me about, we're trying to get those 5 trails, and I found these old maps, but it would be so much easier if we could link in from some maps that the county has.
Yeah.
I mean, I can take photos of all the trailheads and that, but if it has like legal descriptions, and really that may be where we need to go to do those, because it's much more complicated than just a paragraph about each one, because over time they've changed, but that would be really helpful.
Yeah,
That would be willing.
you could basically have this whole website that you already have here, all the information on it, but just in one spot. So it's like, yeah, if you wanted to have the trail as a
Yeah.
point, have all the links.
On a 3D map. Yeah.
On a 3D
Yeah,
map.
on a 3D map, that would be much better than me taking photos of.
But you can
of
also,
An actual old map.
yeah,
getting
you
it.
can also embed the photos in there as well too. So it's like, you could click on that and you could see.
That would be good.
all the-
Would it link to the GPS? Because we've had,
Ex-
when we
yes.
redid our maps, Montecito Trails, we had to have it all linked. Yeah, so that would all,
Yeah.
that's what you
But
really
the
need. for
county would
something.
be the ones doing all that. We would
Would do
just
that,
give
yeah.
them the idea.
They have all that information.
Right.
Right? Okay, that is very helpful.
Do we need to give any direction as authorize? Sir, I know it's not on the. Just do it.
I would just leave it at that. You can go for it, you don't have to have a vote.
We have to vote.
No, okay.
You mentioned something the county already has.
Howard, is your microphone on?
Thank you. You mentioned a system the county our county uses. I forget what it's called, photo map or something.
ArcGIS.
But that's not open to the public.
Well, these maps are, so actually, Jonathan, if you want to quickly look up, you could look up County of Santa Barbara, ArcGIS, ARC. And it'll take you, or, you know, would look like.
Okay.
But we would just put our county historic landmarks and places of history.
So I was.
Or these younger folks with their computer abilities.
I guess the question I have, the city of San Luis, they even went more. They went, their map is by districts. They have historic districts in the city. And it actually shows, say, whatever district it is, it shows all of the houses in that district. And then they can link on each house. It will tell them if it's a historic landmark or it's.
Wow.
or what, you know, if it has any
Oh, yeah,
historic.
there's.
So we could make it as comprehensive or as simple as you
Yeah,
want.
I mean, I was just amazed when I went to, that was their city, that they have it that precise. You know.
God.
What are we looking at?
These are examples of county parks, the Santa Barbara County map. So basically, this right here is a web map, and it shows the locations of each park, and then you can click on each one. It has different information, but you can also embed things like photos and links onto them. Yeah,
Let's
that's
do
Here
one.
inside.
We go down into Santa Barbara and click on those that are down there. Royal Borough,
Marlboro?
but they don't have the trail.
No,
Okay,
these are
that's
just
what-
parks.
these are just the parks. Oh, this is fast. Oh,
The little.
open space. Hmm.
We're out in the ocean.
Yeah, over. You got Rincon, that's one of the ones with the trails.
Sorry.
How about the Rincon one?
Rincon?
Down by the, yeah, county border, right there. That is where one of the trails that's one of our landmarks are, and it's, I know it's been changed. They put, haven't they put bike and I'll have to go down there.
Not sure where that area is.
Further north.
It's, no, it's, go to your right, head towards Ventura, the Rincon, the point. It said, no, it's got a state beach. Yeah, it's got the little tree,
Oh, Rincon Point.
Rincon Point. What does it have there? Okay, it's got the beach park. Okay, it doesn't have the trail on there. Okay.
So
Okay.
that's also something else, like we could incorporate this into the county parks web map. That's one, I don't know if that's an option or to have our own. Yeah, I just wanted to put the idea out there.
That'd be good.
So are you suggesting that we could have our own historic landmark map or something and laid out
Yes.
with a county map and with symbols or something? And it would
Exactly.
say, wow. And how, wouldn't that be a lot of work to input that, or would the system drop it in?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a whole lot of work. It just takes gathering the data, which we have a lot of already, and we could choose to go and take updated pictures if we wanted. I just don't know in terms of like the county and, the people working, if what their limitations are in time and all that.
With the
But-
money that we have to pay to do the
There's always money.
Right. That's what I just want to introduce the idea and see if it's worth investigating.
I think it is definitely, because that would be a godsend for us, because we've been wanting to upgrade our website. But for that matter, probably the county's total website for everybody. I mean, it looked to me like they're retaining the same kind of boring standard for every department. I hope I'm wrong, but
Mr. Chair, would you like to bring this back as a discussion item? And I can see if we can have somebody from ArcGIS come and tell us what the costs are associated with making a
yeah,
map like this?
love it. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Them to look at Ventura,
Yeah,
what is, so they can get an idea.
absolutely.
This Parks map looks like it's already in the system, which means they could use this county map and then use it to a separate one just for landmarks.
Definitely.
So
The one-
well, let me ask, how does that sound with you, Commissioner Rowley?
Oh yeah, that sounds great. And I mean, if I'm able to work with them, or there's a committee or subcommittee that needs to be
Yeah.
involved, I would be willing to do that.
Great, thank you. Yes, Commissioner Kaufman Gray.
Just a question on this item that we're doing. This was discussion, so we don't really need a vote. We're just directing Jonathan to add those.
Item to the next.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent. Thank you, Jonathan. We'll look forward to having something on the next agenda. Last thing, one of the last things I have is, oh, I see. So Commissioner Knight is on our current agenda. He was left off of something or other.
Oh, yeah, but they changed it. On the-
Okay, so he's there. Good.
We updated that.
Oh, in an earlier version, you were missing off.
Bob Knight was missing, yes.
So I didn't realize that had been corrected. Anything else before we wrap up? Well, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all very much for coming and voting for me, and I'll try to get on the ball.
If you ever